now.
There's only one way to describe the Nashville Predators and this team, and clutch is the perfect descriptor for the kind of run we're seeing to keep them alive in the playoff race. Now, the Nashville Predators shut out the Carolina Hurricanes tonight 3-0, and it was just the latest case of favorable results for the Preds' playoff chances. Well, we saw Calgary beat Winnipeg in regulation yesterday, putting both teams at 89 points, and then Nashville won in regulation today, putting them at 88. But before we talk about the playoff picture, we're going to talk about maybe the only reason this team is in the hunt for a playoff spot at all. That's right, it's Short King Spring for UC Saros, and he's keeping it 100. And that 100 is tonight's one big stat. In 2 matchups against the Hurricanes this season, UC Saros has done what seems impossible. He's faced 100 shots on goal against. That's an average of 50 per game. But in reality, we had 33 tonight and a record-setting 67 against on January 5th, and he saved 97 of them. That's an easy percentage. Carolina doubled nearly every counting statistic in 2 games. They had 179 shot attempts to Nashville's 84, 9.4 expected goals to 6.5, but they didn't double them up in the one that matters, and that's goals, which Nashville leads now 8-3 in the season series. But it's not just against the Hurricanes where UC Saros has shined. Since March 1st, UC Saros leads the entire league with 13.25 goals saved above expected. Over those 16 games, UC Saros averages about allows 1 goal less than expected in every one, meaning he's giving Nashville a better chance to win by a goal almost every game. And while yes, this is UC's only second shutout of the season, he's quickly making a case for not just being a finalist for the Vezina Trophy, but winning it. And his late season performance is another reason why. In those 16 games since March 1st, Saros has 8 games in which he's given up 2 goals or less. If you extend it to 3 goals or less, he's done that in 13 of the last 16. If Nashville makes the playoffs, UC Saros is the number 1 reason why. And speaking of the playoffs, it's time for your playoff picture update. Like I said before, everything Nashville needed to happen actually happened. And tonight, here's where the 3 teams stand. Sitting in the second wildcard spot currently is Winnipeg with 89 points and 4 games remaining, a potential max point total of 97. The Calgary Flames also have 89 points, but only have 3 games left, a max total of 95. And then you have the Preds. They sit 1 point behind both of those teams at 88 with 4 games remaining, a maximum total of 97. So max total of 96. So where do we stand? As you all know, Nashville has maybe the biggest game of the season against the Jets on Saturday. And with the win tonight, Nashville jumped from a 16% chance of making the playoffs to 24%. But that number can change drastically in the game against Winnipeg. If Nashville wins in regulation, they jump up all the way to a 43% chance of making the postseason. They'll have 90 points to Winnipeg's 89, and both teams will have 3 games left. A loss in regulation drops Nashville's chances from 16% all the way down to 6%, leaving them at 88 points to Winnipeg's 91, and that's going to be almost an insurmountable lead for them to try to overcome. But the chances improve less dramatically with an overtime win. Both teams would sit at 90 points, but both teams sitting at the same amount of points is kind of the problem because Nashville has to gain more points than the Jets from that point on, because if it makes it to tiebreakers, Nashville's not going to win. They have the first tiebreaker is regulation wins. Nashville has 29 to Winnipeg's 33, exactly 4 less. And if it does get moved up to the second tiebreaker, which is regulation and overtime wins, well, Nashville trails Winnipeg by 7. So, ending the season tied in points with the Winnipeg Jets is not an option really for Nashville, because there's very, very few chances out there that Nashville could turn that around and still make the playoffs. So, every point counts, and not just the ones for Nashville, but the ones lost by Winnipeg as well. But let's not forget about the Flames. They have Vancouver on Saturday while Nashville and Winnipeg are playing. And even if Nashville wins in regulation, if the Flames win at all, they'll have 91 points and lead for the final wildcard spot. After that, well, it's Nashville for the next game, and hopefully we'll be having this same conversation in 2 days' time. But however, the Flames only have 3 games remaining to Nashville and Winnipeg's 4, so they remain the only team of the 3 that doesn't control their own destiny. They could win every single game, but Winnipeg could actually still get in just by picking up more points. The Flames, in a way, have put themselves in 3rd place in this race, but not by very much. So what's the take-home from all of this? Just win. Take care of business, especially in regulation, and the Predators could end up with a fairy tale ending to a season that was declared dead just a couple months ago. And that is tonight's one big stat.
I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier, captain of the Renegades of Puck. I'm also tired of the cold, tired of the dark, and tired of being landlocked. I'm also willing to bet that I'm not the only one who could use some sun, fun, and time in paradise with friends. That's exactly why I called our great friend Pete Weber. He told me, call Ships and Trips Travel, and now we're all going to Mexico. That's right, Renegades of Puck, July 15th to the 20th of 2023. Dreams Vallarta Resort in Puerto Vallarta is the destination to hang with Pete Weber in paradise. To join Pete and the Renegades of Puck in Puerto Vallarta, go to www.shipsandtripstravel.com. That's shipsandtripstravel.com, and just click on the ROP on Vacation tab. Don't stay landlocked. Join the Renegades of Puck in paradise, July 15th to the 20th, 2023 in Puerto Vallarta. Pete Weber, the Renegades of Puck, and you. It's time to ditch those skates for flip-flops and fun